Welcome to the info session for Launch a Shirt campaign. I am glad you carved time out of your day to be here. If you are a nonprofit leader who is responsible for improving your marketing communications and your fundraising endeavors, today you will be enlightened on one strategy that can potentially lighten your load, okay? So in the next 30 to 40 minutes, my goal is really to show you how you can spread your nonprofit's message online to improve visibility while raising funds for your organization. All right, so I am your guide today. My name is Rochelle Edrington. I am a client attraction consultant. I transform meaningless marketing efforts into robust revenue generating strategies for consultants, coaches, and nonprofit leaders who really just want to show up and shine online while they increase their bottom line. My clients work with me really to align their sales, marketing, and content efforts so they can better attract their ideal clients or stakeholders so they can focus more on their mission. Okay, so just a little tidbit about my background. I am a certified digital marketing specialist with 10 plus years of sales experience. Last year, I was invited to co-author a book. It's the Marketing, Branding, and Social Media book, which shares nonprofit marketing strategies that organizations can use to stand out. There's one chapter in there that's specifically about nonprofit marketing strategies, and that's what your girl Rochelle I contributed to. But today, yes, we are going to talk about one of those strategies, which is t-shirt fundraising, and you'll learn about that here in a moment. All right, so for the last 3 years, I have had the pleasure of doing more work in the nonprofit sector. I witnessed so many organizations struggling with three things as it relates to my perspective from the marketing standpoint. One, understanding online marketing. Two, communicating why someone should care about your cause. And three, feeling comfortable about asking for the sale or the donation, right? So I realized this was a huge reason why so many nonprofit leaders are working super hard, but they're not seeing the results that I believe they deserve. So this discovery led to the birth of Campaign for a Cause in late 2019. Now, the first half of 2020, I spent a lot of time researching and talking to nonprofit leaders about their struggles and their experience as it relates to shirt fundraising. So I could develop a solution that was really worth investing time in. So if you've been down this road, you can probably relate to what some of the things I'm about to share. So after talking to a lot of these leaders in the past, many of the organizations, that started to sell t-shirts, they were quickly frustrated with the out-of-pocket cost, the delivery headaches, and not to mention, they still had shirts left over from the inventory that they bought ahead of time. So this is not the case with Campaign for a Cause. Campaign for a Cause is a t-shirt fundraising platform that has no upfront cost. It helps you to save time by delivering the shirts directly to your supporters, and it educates you and guides organizations on how to successfully launch a shirt fundraiser, a shirt campaign, leveraging online marketing with the marketing support that we provide. So to test some of these concepts, we launched a successful group of a campaign back in November. It was a very successful campaign. It was a group of 5 nonprofits we started with. This was in November of 2020. The organizations not only raised money, but they learned how to truly implement the different tactics it takes to launch a successful online marketing campaign. And they were able to see the success because they received coaching behind the scenes, which also gave them true insight on what it takes to launch campaigns. And it's not just dealing with t-shirts. What you learn are tactics and fundamentals that you can apply to any online marketing campaign that you decide to promote or launch in the future. But when what we did is we then launched more cohorts. We launched a cohort in February, May, and June of 2021. And now the goal is to go full force and offer the solution to more organizations, which is why you are here today. So I really do want to stretch your perspective here. Okay. Did you know that selling shirts for your organization is not just a fundraiser, but also a marketing strategy? See, t-shirt fundraising can be used as a game plan to reach new financial supporters, which I know many of you guys are eager to figure out how can you do that, right? But consider this. If someone supported your cause by purchasing a shirt, a low-cost shirt, you now have the opportunity of getting a higher contribution in the future if done right. So imagine a supporter, let's say, purchased a shirt in May. Okay, you add them to your email list, you keep in touch with them, telling them about the updates about your organization so you can build that trust and transparency, right? And when it is time to do that big financial ask, you now have a list of people who have already financially supported your organization, and you built that trust. So it makes it a little bit of a smoother transition of going for the big ask and seeing results from it. Okay, so yes, t-shirt fundraising is a marketing strategy, and there's other benefits to it as well. So let's dig into that really quick. Now, in the beginning, I did mention that selling shirts can really like lighten the load, right? Remember I said that? So here's how. When you leverage social media to promote your campaign, you will improve your online presence and your reach. This can be done by consistently showing up, talking about your cause and your campaign, okay? So think about this. Selling t-shirts is almost like someone paying you to advertise your organization. I know some of you guys are like, what? Listen, every time someone wears your shirt, that person is subconsciously aware of your organization. And when that person goes out and about, and that gives your shirt, your brand, more opportunity for people to see it. Other people lay eyes on it, right? Now, what typically happens when you see someone wearing a shirt that's eye-catching, inspirational, or just have like a thought-provoking or a beautiful design, right? Something that catches your eye, you usually are like, hey, where did you get that from? And that's what sparks the conversation. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell them where to go to purchase the shirt. Boom. Free advertising and sales. You can thank me later, okay? Just joking. All right, moving right along. Launching a campaign is also a great way to engage new and existing supporters. Do you have people that are following your personal and your business pages? I would bet my money, yes. Okay, so if you do, you can boost engagement by generating campaign buzz. Since you will be focusing on getting the word out about your cause, people will be watching, and there will be something that you say that sparks interest. Listen, I am not just speaking in theory. This happened to me. One day I was scrolling on social media and I repeatedly saw this nonprofit organization boosting awareness about domestic violence. So they were posting pictures about a personal care basket that they usually provide to, the women that deal with that. Okay. So the nosy Rosie in me, and I don't want to say deal with that. I don't want to, let me backtrack because domestic violence is very serious. I want to say, and let me reword it. A lot of the women that are subjected to those circumstances, this was a support group that really gave resources to those women. Okay. But the nosy Rosie in me was really curious. I was like, okay, what in the world is going on? I keep seeing these baskets. So I started doing research. And I found out, what they were doing. So I was very intrigued and moved by their story, what they were doing, so much so that I purchased a basket. Not only did I purchase a basket, I shared their post on my personal page because for 2 reasons. One, I wanted more people to know about what this organization was doing. And 2, I was very, proud of my contribution. Okay, so it does work. So also, By getting your team on board to promote the campaign is a fun way to boost engagement among your volunteers, your staff, and your board members, okay? So listen, they signed up to support your organization. This is a creative avenue that will simultaneously hold them accountable for the reason why they say they wanted to support your organization. So get them involved, and possibly you can make a competition out of it, make it fun, okay? Now, my nonprofit business buddies have told me what a frustrating thing it is to have restrictions on the funds that come into your organization. So selling t-shirts will not sustain your organization. However, it will give you access to unrestricted funds. Okay, say unrestricted funds, because I know you guys can respect that. All right. So let's talk about money. All right, so every shirt that you sell, you will earn $10 per shirt if you are selling your shirt at $25. If you decide to sell your shirt for more, your profit will increase. For example, if you sell it for $30, now you will earn $15 per shirt. The payouts are made on the second Tuesday of every month via PayPal. Now, do note, in order to launch a campaign with Campaign for a Cause, you will have to have a PayPal set up. And it's really, really simple. If you don't have one, hop on over to YouTube, type in, how to set up PayPal, PayPal tutorial. I guarantee you'll find something, okay? A step-by-step tutorial. Now, if you're one of those types of people who, really like to identify what are the true commitments before I say yes, this slide is for you. So let me start with myself and my team that helps me to push this mission along. Our commitment to you is to provide you with a t-shirt promotional image, a graphic that you can utilize to promote your campaign online. Also, you will be invited to the Facebook campaign support group. And that's just a place where you can get your questions answered, okay? And, we celebrate your successes. We nudge you. We, have challenges. It's really, really fun and supportive in this group. We'll manage the store, the fulfillment, and the customer service. This is really, really a time saver for you, because if for some reason one of your supporters email you and say, oh my gosh, I just placed the order, I forgot to add my apartment number, or I put the wrong information, all you have to do is forward that information to us. We'll handle it and we'll keep the transparency, so you can rest assured that it's, we're taking care of it. All we want you to do during your campaign is to promote, get your message out there, okay? And then we do offer paid training for those organizations that really just want to take it up to the next level and get truly trained on how to do social media, online marketing, as well as maybe if you want your team to be trained. I'll give you some insight on that later. But your commitment is really just making sure you fill out the form, which we'll talk about this in a second, the interest form, and submit your design to us. I usually recommend to choose about 5 to 10 advocates to help you to promote your campaign. We'll get into that in a moment as well. Schedule out social media posts. If you have an email list, let your email list know about your campaign. And at the end of your campaign, I highly recommend, encourage you, and ask for you to fill out the survey so we could continuously improve this program. All right. And lastly, your commitment is to make sure you have a PayPal account. All right. So just a little bit, I want to get into the marketing support. Then we'll talk a little bit about what it takes to actually launch a campaign with Campaign for a Cause. Now, the market, as a campaigner, additional marketing support is available. All campaigners will receive a Canva training video. If you are unfamiliar with Canva, Canva is simply a very simple graphic design platform where you can create professionally done images, even if you don't have any graphic design background. It could be, the training is going to really be Canva 101, how to make simple templates. We're not going to dive too deep into that in this training, but you'll get a Canva training video. That'll help you guys out. You also get a checklist on the steps to launching a campaign. You'll have access to the group, the Facebook group, as well as I will extend a 20-minute consult to you. So if you're one of those people like, hey, I want to talk to someone one-on-one so I can get personalized direction, encouragement, insight, strategy, whatever it may be, as it relates to my particular campaign and organization, you have 20 minutes you can set up with me, and I'll be more than happy to help you to strategize and set you up for success. Now, for the campaigners who really need more clarity and to be able to communicate their message online, I do have a donor persona playbook bundle that you can purchase for only $14. This is really going to help you to get very, very clear on who your target audience is, your persona, your avatar, if you ever heard any of those words, right? But the playbook is going to show you how to narrow down, who you're talking to. And once you identify who your target audience is, your persona, how to utilize that in your marketing efforts and also in your outreach efforts, okay? But also in that bundle, you'll receive a value proposition template that will help you to clearly and concisely state why someone should support your organization. And lastly, there is a marketing tactics analysis that will help you to narrow down which platform you should spend most of your time on as it relates to launching your campaign. Very, very valuable if you had any of those questions, okay, on how to do that. Now, for those that are looking for paid training, in-depth training, I do offer that. It's a 3-hour intensive. If you want to increase your productivity, learn how to reach more people, build trust with your audience, and save time, this workshop is for you. This is something that we do one-on-one or in a group. It's totally up to you. It could be specifically for your organization, but everything you learn in this workshop are once again, the tactics, the in-depth tactics and the metrics and all that good stuff that you can utilize when launching any campaign for your organization, not just t-shirts. I do want to make that clear. Okay. Now, some of you guys may be here because I reached out to you specifically about the Launch Cohort. I'm always so excited about this, but here is another avenue for marketing support. Okay. So Launch is a group-based t-shirt campaign that teaches nonprofits the fundamentals of online marketing. These campaigns help participants to understand and implement online elements together. Okay. We leverage your website, your social media, email, and text message strategies to help increase awareness of your campaign. Now, we are launching our next group awareness campaign on May 1st with the focus of mental health. Even if your organization doesn't deal with mental health, you can still participate, okay? But the goal is to really go from zero to campaign hero in 4 weeks by reaching your goals. To assist in this journey, here is what you will get as a part of the cohort. You will receive a free social media kit that will have 5 mental health social media posts and captions, 5 story posts. You'll also get banners that you can update for Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, okay, about the awareness campaign. You'll also receive 15 supporting hashtags to help you, all of this is really just to help you with creating content, because I know as nonprofit leaders, you've heard of content marketing. It's like, where do I find the time? So I'm just, helping you out a little bit to jumpstart this mission, okay? Now, we have 2 marketing huddles, and that is going to happen on April 7th and April 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a perfect opportunity to hop on into the Zoom and get your questions answered about your campaign before you actually launch, okay? Now, the organizations who participate will be mentioned in the mental health blog that will be featured on the campaignforacause.com website, as well as there's going to be a blog that's going to be that will be on Medium as well, if you're familiar with that platform. Now, we do host weekly challenges to keep the experience fun and competitive, but the live campaign will be from May 1st to May 30th, but the prep work will start here in April. All right. Coming around to the home stretch here. All right, so if you are wondering what it takes to sell shirts with Campaign for a Cause, here we go. Step one is really simple. You're going to complete the interest form with the basic questions about your organization. You'll upload or send me via email your t-shirt design. When you send me your t-shirt design, you send it in high definition or JPEG or PNG format with a transparent background. That is very, very important, because what you send is what will be put on the shirt. All right. Step two, we will send you a digital version of your shirt and your design within 2 business days. Once you approve the design, we will post your shirt on the campaignforacause.com website, and you will receive a unique link. And this link is the link that you will share to your audience. Next, to ensure a successful campaign, we strongly encourage you to, ask advocates to support your campaign to help with the momentum and the buzz. As I mentioned earlier, I recommend asking about 5 to 10 people to help you with the momentum. And all you really need to do is get their buy-in beforehand, before you launch, and just ask them to post a picture of themselves wearing the shirt, or if they're not really into social media, ask them to just take a picture and send it to you, and therefore you can post it. Okay, there's something magical about when others can see that you already have support, something about like, not wanting to be left out type deal. Okay, so we're going to build upon that. Also, you want to make sure you create additional content around your campaign so people can understand what your organization stands for and they could buy into your story, okay? And lastly, you want to just go ahead and launch your shirt campaign, which we will do in the We Launch on May 1st. But if you decide to launch it in a separate campaign outside of the group campaign, that's totally up to you. You can do that. You pick whatever date you're going to launch and go for it, okay? Now, because we've done these info sessions so many times now, I went ahead and I'm going to answer some questions that I pretty much get frequently. So here we go. If you have any additional ones, feel free to drop it on the chat. We're almost done, and I'll go ahead and answer them once we get to the end of the presentation. Now, so one of the biggest questions people always ask is, what should I put on my t-shirt? The best way I explain this is, if your organization is on the level where your community can see your logo and they know exactly who you are, what you stand for, what you guys promote, then go for it, put your logo, or you could start there. Okay. But for a lot of the organizations that we've been working with, they're kind of new to this, and their main goal is brand awareness in their community. So what I usually recommend is to put your campaign message on your shirt, which is, if someone cannot remember exactly your logo or the exact name of your organization, what is the one thing you really want them to, no matter what, hands down, to remember? Okay, that is your message. So you can put your campaign message and your website or the name of your organization on your shirt. I don't know how closely you guys can see the slide, but there was, an organization, they deal with, equality for Black women, and their shirt said equality period, but in really small, I don't know if you can see it, really small, they put the name of their organization. Also, there were some other organizations that they put their campaign message, and then small under the message, they put their website. My personal opinion, I love that idea, because it's almost like you're turning your t-shirt into a business card, okay? And therefore you can always get people to, send people traffic back to your website. So I absolutely love that. And now that I'm saying that out loud as well, is if you launch a campaign with us, I can instruct you or show you how you can add the link to your website or the t-shirt image to your website. So therefore, if somebody does go to your website, they can still be linked back to your Campaign for a Cause page when they're ready to buy. Okay, so we can talk about that later. But anyway, let's see, t-shirts. Yes, so I get a lot, do we just sell t-shirts? We're still in the development stage of this initiative. Right now, we have t-shirts and hoodies. The sizes are small to 2X. However, if you need 3X or larger, you'll just go ahead and do a custom order. You'll email me and we'll get you squared away. The shirts are unisex. A lot of people say, how do they fit? Right now, we are only doing unisex shirts, but they do fit comfortably. The shirts for right now, if you're planning to launch a campaign in April, right now you can put your logo or your design on the front of your shirt. Starting in May, we're actually rolling out a lot more features to this program. And in May, we are going to launch where you can put images on the front and the back. So if you're planning to do We Launch, we'll talk more about this in the campaign huddle. The colors of the shirt, if you're launching in April, is currently black and white. Colors, additional colors will be added to the palette for May. Let's see, how long does it usually take to get your shirt? So once your supporter orders a shirt, it usually takes about 7-10 business days to get it. Many times we've seen they've gotten it early, but on average, I usually like to say 7 to 10 business days. I also get a lot of people asking like, okay, how do I keep track of how many shirts that we're selling? So every single week you will receive a report on Friday by 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for all the orders that were submitted the previous week or prior to that date. So you'll have insight on who ordered, you'll get all their contact information, their emails and things like that, which is one of the strategies on how you can build your email list and send out thank yous and all of that. But yes, you will receive a weekly report. If you are one of those organizations that prefer to buy in bulk, because maybe you have an event coming up or, a big festival, whatever it may be, you can do that. Speak to me, email me directly, and we can get you set up there as well. And the other question I get often is, how long can I sell shirts on your on the site? You could sell shirts on the site indefinitely. It's totally up to you. But when it comes to the hands-on marketing support, that's usually a 30-day investment. So yes, you could keep your shirts on our site. If you've been to our site yet, you'll see there's a number of folks that decided to keep their shirts up there as well. So you can do so as well. Okay. And did I skip any questions after the video? Okay. One of the things I did want to say is if you do decide to keep your shirts on the site after 30 days, your campaign reports will come monthly instead of weekly because you're not in an active campaign. Okay. Unless you put on the interest form, hey, we're going to do our campaign for 60 days or 90 days, like active. Okay. So if you have any additional questions, definitely let me know. All right. So I'm going to pull up the chat. Before I do that, if you have any questions, drop it in the chat right now. I know we're nearing the end. I promised 30 to 40 minutes. So I think I'm, being respectful of time. I think we have about 2 minutes so far. But what I am going to do, for those of you who are interested in joining the campaign, this is the link. Okay. I'm dropping the link in there. That is the link. That link is going to take you directly to the interest form. So go ahead and fill that out. I'll be in connection with you if I have any questions. If you do not have your design yet, just go ahead and email me once you get that up and going. But once again, if you're joining the We Launch, we will be meeting April 7th. So I can help you with that. But if you're like, hey, I want to get things rock and rolling sooner than later, I don't want to wait until April 7th or whatever it may be, here's the link to grab 20 minutes on my calendar. We can strategize together. And lastly, if you are one of those folks that said, hey, I need more clarity on how to get more people, involved, not just involved, but, sharing my campaign message, here is the link to that donor persona playbook. Okay. But let me see if there are any questions. Bear with me here. I am going to stop sharing really quick if that is okay. I don't know if you guys can hear my little one. I hope not. All right, let me check. Are there any questions? Any questions here? All right. All right. I really think that frequently asked questions kind of answer a lot of the questions that I get often. All right. But yeah, I don't see any questions. I want to thank you all for tuning in today, midday, in the middle of your day. You're probably at work right now, I'd assume. But listen, I'm really, really excited to launching our We Launch cohort. But if you are needing or wanting to launch a campaign outside of that, let's say you know your organization is doing something big in June or August, that is completely fine. Okay. But fill out the interest form so I can make sure to follow up with you if you're planning to do it at another time. But other than that, everyone, I just want to thank you for tuning in, and definitely follow us on Facebook and Instagram. I am going to put my email, and I always forget to do this. I'm going to put my email address directly to me. Rochelle at marketingweekpro.com. If you have any additional questions, feel free to email me directly. All right. So since I do not see any questions, I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here. And I want to thank you all for joining the Launch a Shirt campaign. And I hope we have the opportunity to campaign for your cause together.